Hi there. Welcome to this webinar on data scientist versus machine learning engineer. Which track to take? I'm Dr. Sarang. It will be hard to find anybody in this world who has not heard of AI. Artificial intelligence has penetrated in our lives so much that even an illiterate person possesses a smartphone that uses AI extensively. AI is there everywhere, right from mobiles to televisions, from small size cars to self driven cars, from laptops to even big data centers. With so much of AI penetration in every industry, obviously you understand that there lies lots of opportunities in the field of AI, rather developing machine learning models to impart the intelligence to the so-called dumb machines. In this short video, I am going to give you a brief on the role of a data scientist versus a machine learning engineer. In the industry, both the terms are used quite frequently, though many of them prefer the term data scientist. Maybe it sounds better than calling you an engineer. However, the entire ML development process definitely requires the engineering knowledge which most of the old hat data scientists miss out. Now the question is, are these two roles really different? And if yes, can the same person take up both roles? What skills are required to be a data scientist and to be a ML engineer? I'm going to answer these questions in this short video. For this, let me first explain the ML development process. When you train a machine to acquire human intelligence for solving a certain kind of problem, what is it exactly that you need to do? Let me first discuss a few problem statements and then I will discuss the entire development process for achieving these goals. This is one of the most discussed AI application. I want to sell my house in Boston. What should be my floor price in an auction? You use statistical methods or an AI model that is trained to solve regression problems to estimate the price of your house based on features such as its size, the number of bedrooms, its location, and so on. This is the model developed on some numerical data and uses algorithms based on statistical modeling. If there are any fields which are text based, you encode them into a numerical format for the machine to understand their values. This is another area where most of us want to use AI so that we can make quick money. And then there is no need for us to become a data scientist. Isn't this right? It will be really great if we can develop an application like this. The stock price prediction is purely based on the numerical data. Several technical indicators are available for analyzing the trend. You can develop a ML model that signals you buy, sell, hold for stocks using the values computed by these indicators. Well, these are just the two examples that I have sought here. There are several other numerous AI applications that you are obviously aware of. What I want to point out here is that these two examples and many such work on numerical data. Such data is typically available to us in databases or Excel spreadsheets and even in NoSQL databases. So now let us start to understand the role of a data scientist and a ML developer in the context of developing ML models based on numeric data. The word here is numeric. I will discuss the other data types later. Now, let me give you the entire workflow for the development of machine learning. As you see here, the development starts with picking up a data set stored in a traditional database. You pre-process the data in the next step. Why pre-process the data? Because mostly the data that comes to us is never clean. If you talk about the stock data, it is 100% clean as it comes directly from an exchange and is extracted from their trade data. Even though there may be a few unwanted fields that make no sense for your ML algorithm. So these two require some pre-processing. Now, if you talk about the data that is collected on the field, it will have lots of missing values, so-called nulls, wrong data, values and types, especially the one which is stored in spreadsheets. As you know, the spreadsheets do not do any data validation during data entry. So you need to pre-process the data. The entire purpose of pre-processing is to create a clean data set for machine learning. So here comes the first role of a data scientist, and that is to pre-process the data. Now let us look at the pre-processing in more details. What are the different actions in pre-processing the data? The first step is to remove nulls, as the machine cannot learn properly if there are nulls in the data set. The second step would be to remove duplicates. It does not make sense in leaving duplicate values, as these two will affect the machine learning. Other pre-processing would involve scaling numerical columns to a common range, for example 0 through 1, and encoding categorical columns, etc. These steps are the basic necessities of data cleaning. What comes next is more important for a data scientist. A data scientist visualizes different columns in the database using some tools to understand it better. For example, he may try to understand the correlation between the columns, imbalances in dataset, and so on. The next task is the features and target selection. There are tools available for features engineering. A data scientist may use these tools along with the knowledge of the problem domain. What is important is the domain knowledge to decide on the final list of features and the target. The final task in data processing is splitting the data into training, validation, and testing. At this point, the datasets are ready for model development. Now, let us try to summarize the task of a data scientist that we have discussed so far. We can summarize the process so far into these four tasks. To understand the data scientist may use spreadsheets and use database tables. It is very important that the data scientist must possess the domain knowledge to understand the data. Generally, a data scientist with knowledge of the domain selects the features for model training. There are automated tools available for feature selection. A data scientist may use such tools as an aid in arriving at his decisions. For creating sets, a data scientist may use Python, NumPy, Pandas, and other libraries for the data analysis and creating final data sets for model training. Here comes the major task, and that is selecting the appropriate algorithm for the problem you are trying to solve. Now let us try to understand what skills are required for a data scientist. Most obviously, the data scientist should be able to use Excel and databases efficiently to examine the available data. He should be able to use tools like built-in charts in Excel or Python-based libraries like Seaborn to visualize the data. Most importantly, the data scientist must understand the domain. Without this knowledge, the features engineering would be almost impossible. Now here comes another important skill the data scientist must possess: the algorithm selection. This diagram gives you a brief idea of the various algorithms available for training. A data scientist must understand the working and purpose of these algorithms, and then only he will be able to make a wise decision on the appropriate algorithm for a particular business use case. The question is whether the data scientist should himself be well in maths or in stats. No, this is not required, as those scientists have already devised and implemented several algorithms. So, as a data scientist, you do not have to invent your own algorithms. You just need to understand the workings and purpose of all those algorithms so that you can select the appropriate one. With so many available algorithms, it will be a daunting task for anybody to study all of them. Fortunately for us, or rather for a data scientist, the tools are available that can help narrow down on their search for an appropriate algorithm. This is called AutoML. A data scientist has to decide between regression and classification. Once this decision is made, there are tools available that train the related algorithms on your data set and provide a ranking for all based on their evaluation scores. This is called AutoML. A data scientist may use such tools to narrow down on the list of algorithms that he would focus on. In some situations, he may pick up the one with the highest score and proceed with its parameter tuning. Now we come to the next stage of ML development cycle. We have covered the workflow as highlighted in this picture. Now comes the remaining portion. As I said, there are many pre-implemented algorithms available for your use. You just need to call their APIs through Python code. Here comes the important requirement, and that you must be a good coder and understand how to use these APIs. This is where the role of a machine learning engineer starts. Just the way we looked at the task performed by a data scientist, let us look at what tasks are expected out of a machine learning engineer. We can broadly summarize the tasks as shown here. Let us look at each task in more details. Obviously, you should know Python for making the API calls. Though I have been saying Python all this time, it is not necessary that you must use Python for ML development. You may use any other programming language of your choice. For example, you may use R, Java, and even C++. You may even prefer the recent ones like Julia. The only thing I would say here is that Python is probably the most popular and widely used language in ML, with lots of libraries developed by the community. The point that I want to bring out here is that an ML engineer must be extremely good in Python to perform all these tasks. Very certainly, if you are an engineer, you must be a good developer too. Every algorithm has several input parameters. You must understand the purpose of each of these parameters and their possible values. That is where you would need a good knowledge of its working. So as an engineer, you may like to refresh your knowledge of stats that you probably took as a course in your pre-college curriculum. Our next task is evaluating the training accuracy. For this, the various metrics are available. As an ML engineer, you should understand all these metrics and be able to interpret the results. If the model accuracy does not meet your business requirements, you should try another set of parameters. After you're done with the parameter selection, you will fine tune those hyperparameters. There are tools available for fine tuning the parameters. One such good tool is Optuna, which does a very good job of fine tuning the various values of the selected parameters. Our last task is the model's inference. If you are not happy with its predictions on the unseen data, you will have to iterate through the entire process, maybe even to select another set of features and retrain the model. You obviously need programming skills for all these tasks. Now, let us try to summarize the skills expected out of a ML engineer. The expected skills of a ML engineer can be summarized as shown here. Let us look at each one individually. The first skill is that you must be an extremely good programmer. Now, a data scientist may not be a good programmer, but he may collaborate with an ML engineer for model development. The next skill is having a thorough understanding of the selected algorithm. We had seen earlier this as the forte of a data scientist who knows stats certainly better than an engineer. The last skill I have listed here is that the ML engineer must understand different evaluation metrics. He will present the results of the evaluations to a data scientist for his views and assessments. Are we now done in defining the roles of a data scientist and a ML engineer? Not really. The entire machine development cycle that we have seen so far pertains to what is now termed as good old fashioned AI. This is where all the machine learning started with all stats based techniques. The AI nowadays has advanced quite a lot. You now have neural networks and deep learning networks. These function on similar lines to a human brain and are capable of learning on their own. So, your age old traditional AI development process that we discussed so far now vanishes in air with this new innovation. Now, for this kind of AI development, what do you need to know or what do you need to learn? I have broadly summarized the required skills. The skills that we are talking about now lie in the forte of a ML engineer and maybe beyond the abilities of the traditional data scientist. Just having a deep knowledge of maths and stats. Now, I will discuss each skill individually. In the first place, the engineer has to have a good concept of artificial neural networks. Though there are many predefined architectures available for specialized purposes, generally we design our own network using the various kinds of predefined layers. As an engineer, you should understand what are those different layers, the layer types, and what is the purpose of each. While designing the network, you must define the loss functions for network optimization. An artificial neural network is trained over several iterations, also called epoch, and in each iteration, we optimize the network function by reducing the losses. As an engineer, you must learn the various available loss and optimization functions, and in some situations, define your own. Lastly, the engineer has to decide the activation function to be used at the output of each layer for firing the neuron. There are different activation functions for different needs. After discussing these new innovations in AI model development, I will now move on to what is new in data. Now, let us look at the types of data that we have for developing machine learning applications. These are the three data types that nowadays we work with. Let us discuss this one by one. The data we have discussed so far is mostly numeric and comes from traditional databases. A database has certainly a small and limited number of columns. So the number of features for model training is usually small. Having a limited number of features saves you on the processing power that you require for model training. There are many applications these days that use image data. You are aware of applications like face tagging in Facebook, vehicle detections in a live video stream for traffic monitoring, person identifications in surveillance systems, and so on. All these ML models are trained on image data. The number of images to train these models go in millions. your traditional ML techniques based on stats cannot be used for such applications. You need to use DNN, that is deep neural networks. In such developments, there is no data pre-processing like what you saw in good old-fashioned AI. If at all any processing is required on the image data, it would be like image augmentation to take care of small data sets, resizing the images to a common scale, etc. Those kind of jobs. For this, there are many ready to use Python libraries available, and it is the job of an ML engineer to apply any such pre-processing if at all if it is required. You can see the knowledge of a traditional data scientist, as we have listed so far, is no good or not enough, not sufficient for developing such kind of applications. Rather, he must acquire the new skills that an ML engineer possesses, like understanding ANN, DNN, designing good performing architectures, those loss functions, activation functions, and so on. Our next data type is textual data. We have heard of ML applications like spam detection in email, sentiment analysis in tweets, topic modeling for news live feed, language translation, and so many other which are based on text. All these models are based on text input. The type of data processing that you need for text data is quite a lot different than processing numeric data. You do not need maths or stats to process text data. Rather, you must understand natural language, its semantics, and so on. We have seen the entire machine learning cycle and the functions of the so-called data scientist and ML engineer in the entire ML development process. Now, what are the industry names these roles? Be it a data scientist or a ML engineer, what is important is that you have now understood the requirements of machine learning. This knowledge should help you in deciding your career path in the promising world of AI. There are plenty of opportunities, and it does not really matter whether you come from a maths or a stats background or purely an engineering background with very little domain knowledge and the ability to understand the data like a seasoned data scientist. For both types of people, you will need to acquire the skills in other areas which do not come under your forte. It is not at all difficult to acquire these skills. There are several tools available these days to ease the entire development process. Very rarely you will be designing your own algorithms that will require high amount of mathematics or a knowledge of stats. So all said, I wish you a good luck in learning, upgrading your skills, and be a data scientist soon.